and they saying the flow is impressive. I just be keeping it real on the beat and I show my perspective. And now I be traveling, finally got me some dough I can flex with. My Chevy and shirt, I put in that call out the flow from Progressive. Party until I be seeing the sun when I'm down in Miami. And then I wake up and continue to crush it like I was surrounded by candy. Plan A is to win, only my women be down for the plan B.
What's going on, everybody? Once again, we're back here at Ringside right now. You know who I am with, as always. We got Clint, Curtis, and myself, Pierre. So, fellas, we know we got Backlash coming up this weekend. So, what are your thoughts about what's going to be happening going into Backlash?
Well, the first thing I noticed about Backlash is there's only 5 matches, which could be a good thing because that could mean longer matches. It could also mean a shorter PLE. So I don't know which way they're going. If we're looking at the Triple H era of running things, I see a decent 2.5 hour show with some decently long matches. If we're looking at it from the TKO side of running things, we could be looking at 90 minutes of commercials. So we can only hope for the best.
Oh boy, I don't even want to think about commercials at this point. But as far as matches, I think up and down, match for match, this could be one of the better cards coming up. So hey, let's get down to the good stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's not a terrible card, for a post WrestleMania show. Like I said, 5 matches. It could either be terrible or it could be one of the biggest events of the year.
My thing is, you only got 2 championships on the line, though, which is kind of, because usually you want to think about your PLEs, pay-per-views, whatever you want to call it, being where you would showcase the championships and, those type of matches. And this time only having 2. I mean, granted, I understand they're probably trying to save up storyline matches for Night of Champions, which is following this up.
Yeah, and that makes
sense.
So
if that's the case, then I can understand why there's a real lack of championship matches for this particular pay-per-view.
Yeah,
you definitely don't want to touch any SummerSlam plans either.
Yeah,
exactly.
one of my concerns was why is a tag title match not there? They're building up this match between the Vision and Street Profits, but they're saving it for Night of Champions, so that makes sense. So I'm fine with it
because that was overseas, isn't it? Isn't it like in Italy or something? Or is that the Clash?
I think that's Clash. Clash is in Italy.
Okay.
Night of Champions is supposed to be in Saudi, which that's kind of up in the air right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure they got backup plan for that.
Yeah.
So I guess the elephant in the room when it comes to Backlash is, what do y'all think about what's going to happen with the rumors that's been going on about Roman and possible beef with TKO? Now this whole thing with Jacob. I mean, I know before it kind of seemed like it was steady that Jacob is going to lose this match, but now where everything is going on, I don't know, y'all. I think it's a possibility that Jacob still come out this thing with the title.
I mean, if that happens, it's going to throw off a lot of storylines because for them to give us Jacob versus Roman right after WrestleMania, that lets me know that they had a long-term plan for a big story. So if there is backstage drama with TKO and there's a possibility that Roman may want to leave or what have you, that's going to throw things off. But I think Triple H is going to do what he has to do to kind of smooth things over because in the end, you got a show to run. And in the end, you have to do what's, as he likes to say, best for business. If what's best for business is saying, hey, TKO, you guys should take a back seat for a while, let me handle this. If you want to make this money back that you're trying to get, then I think they may be listening. They're only concerned about dollar signs anyway, so they're going to do what they have to do. But and then also the fact that these are dirt sheets we're looking at, so we don't even know if any of this is even true.
Facts. Yeah, and some of the stuff could be thrown into the dirt sheets by certain people because there have been times WWE has thrown some rumors just so the dirt sheets can report, just to throw people off.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah, those red herrings, if you will.
Yeah, and that's another thing about Triple H. He's gotten smart about that. He'll use the dirt sheets to his advantage. So, that's something else to take into consideration.
It's going to take something to really convince me that then no current plans are being that these rumors are even true. So
I mean, but it does offer up a interesting dynamic, especially when okay, you throw in Royce Keys out of the blue from SmackDown last week. But if you know the history, you know that those guys used to be tag team partners back in the day. And then, of course, there's also rumor about Zilla coming to WWE as well. So maybe all this plays into that picture that Roman wants to leave and then builds up this, Zilla coming in, builds up this other family. And now Roman comes back with the own. And then, of course, you get to play with the Usos and what's going on there. But y'all answer me this. Did it seem like Roman cut more of a heel promo from Raw than a real face promo, which they're trying to push him as?
Well, I mean, and this goes back to what we were talking about last time, where it's kind of that gray area because he cut a heel promo. He was cutting a heel promo last week, but also Jacob came out and put the tongue and death grip on him, which is kind of a heel move. So it's really who's the heel, who's the face here. And I think they're trying to blur that line to where there really is no face and no heel. There's no good guy, there's no bad guy. They're just two guys fighting over this title, and they're not even making it a family affair, so to speak. It's they happen to be family. It's not, they're not fighting for tribal chief. They're not fighting for head of the table. They're fighting for the title. It's just that they just so happen to be family. But I think that, again, like I said, that's going to be part of a bigger storyline.
yeah,
As far
and
as the Zilla stuff,
also giving different reasons why they need the title.
yeah,
Yeah, Roman, he says, okay, my way is for generations to come, but Jacob, your problem is you're just looking at your family in particular. So I think they might this can't just be a one-off. This has to just continue to just kind of sprout a little bit because we
yeah.
already got the seeds planted. And so I think as this match develops throughout the night, I think we're going to learn a little more about what's to come.
Yeah, plus, if you're the head of the table, you're the head of the family, you're the tribal chief, your job is not just to look out for future generations, but to look out for the whole family. You brought in Jimmy because you want to look out for his family. You brought in Jay as right hand man, the main event. You're the future tribal chief because you want to take care of his family. You're looking out for everyone in the family. You brought in Solo to look out for his family. Wouldn't you look out for Jacob's family also? Yes, Jacob is the black sheep of the family, and the I guess they don't really associate with him, but wouldn't that still be a part of it, or maybe not? I don't know.
This just comes off my mind. Of course, if you're a Marvel fan, you might get the correlation. Think about the first Black Panther, Killmonger. He was the
Yeah,
outsider. They were willing to bring him in. Now you got somebody threatening his throne because what has Jacob said a couple of times that he's encountered Roman? I'm going to take everything from you. So
you
I
know
don't.
what?
It's not just referring to the title. It's referring to everything of possibly being that head of the
And
table,
you
that
know what?
chief.
That since you made that point, that does make a lot of sense. It is very
Absolutely.
Black Panther because keep in mind also, like you said, he mentioned the promo. While I was in jail, I was watching you guys. I'm watching you guys. On top with the titles, and you're heading WrestleMania. Meanwhile, I'm in jail, getting out of jail, fighting my way to the top. He's kind of referring to him being in the Indies, so I could get that where he feels like he's been left out. Um, and yeah, maybe he is going to just decide he's going to take everything because the rest of the family kind of just, pushed him to the side. So that is something that I hadn't really thought about until you brought that up. So that's a good point. That actually adds a lot to the story, which further lets me know that they're going to drag the story out. It's not going to just end at Backlash. There's more to it.
There has to be more to it. Like you said, you got to drag this thing out. And again, I'm looking forward to the little nuances, in between the matches. Like, how do you tell the story in what moves are going to be used and with what type of purpose, because you can't just use a particular move just for the sake of it. And will there be a point where Roman has Jacob down and ready to put him away, but he's kind of giving them, he kind of gives them an ultimatum at that point and say, "Hey, look, I can take you out right now, or you can acknowledge me."
Well, that was my prediction also, that he was going to allow Jacob the chance to um join the bloodline. Not in the way you said it, where it's an ultimatum, but I think that's going to be part of the storyline. This is
Okay,
going to be a match that really tells a story. All matches are supposed to have storytelling, in the match, but this match is going to really tell a story.
so but my thing is, you guys are saying that it should drag out. So what's the best way to drag it out? Having Jacob win the title or having Roman win the title?
I would say having Roman retain because, again, I keep saying this: the story is in the chase. I'll say the story this time instead of the money, but it's in the chase because if Jacob loses, is he just going to say, "Okay, well, I didn't win. I just work my way back up and go about his day"? No, he's going to find a way to get back to another match and get that title. So the story's going to go on.
Well, even with Solo, it didn't last long. You see what I'm saying? It was basically that match and it was over. He formed his own family at that point. So
but we
are
also
we
got war
talking?
games out of that.
Well, that's true. They did.
Yeah,
Um,
and
so
that was my prediction that this is going to somehow lead to another War Games match, but with the additional releases of JC Cobb and Tonga Lao, I don't know how that's going to play into it. Um, like you said, maybe they bring in other family members, maybe they bring in Zilla, but then again, the rumor mill has been saying Zilla's going to come since WrestleMania 40, so
this is true.
that's a maybe not deal. I mean, a lot of outside stuff. TKO once again interfering in the storylines and interfering with the business because we don't know if they were going to play any part in this or what future storylines they're going to be a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's throw up our official predictions then for this match.
All
What
right,
you gonna say?
my official prediction is Roman is going to retain. Now, where they go after that, I don't know. Maybe he'll offer him the opportunity to join the bloodline and he'll turn him down this first time, but Jacob's not walking out with the belt. But he's not walking out as champion.
I'll say Roman as well. Now, I can all I'm not gonna I don't want to say that Jacob would win by disqualification. They're not gonna do that with you're not gonna see that with too many Triple H type of title matches. So Roman's going to I've got Roman retaining. You gotta drag it out at least until SummerSlam. And again, you gotta make sure those nuances are on point and they're really telling a story that will keep everyone intrigued.
I've been going back and forth. Initially, I said, after thinking about it for a while, I was like, okay, Jacob's going to get the title because that's a good way to stretch it out. But to you guys' point, I can see Roman retaining, but I think it will be a disqualification. I think it'll be something like he'll get the death grip on there at some point and he doesn't break the hold and the ref calls the match. You see what I'm saying? He could
Yeah.
be like, look, Roman, you were about to give up. You were gone and the ref saved you. And that way now you can continue on. Even though we know this is not Triple H's MO, I can see that being that way Jacob looks more dangerous
Plus, he
to
has a
where you can
realistic.
have like a no.
He has a
Go ahead.
realistic stance and say, "Hey, I get another title shot." Not it's not I got pinned and I'm asking for one just because I want another shot. But hey, I had you beat, so I deserve a rematch. So
like
that
a
actually does make sense.
no holds bar street, almost like by bloodline rules, almost like
Yeah, I
what
was going to
Jay
say
and Roman
Bloodline
had.
Rules, Tribal Combat. Yeah,
So that I think that's probably may end up happening with that. Um,
and let me
so
also say they've been putting over the tongue and death grip a lot. Like
yeah,
I remember Michael Cole gave a whole explanation about the tongue and death grip, and they hyped it up to be this rarely used move, which, I mean, it is rarely used now because Haku in wrestling, but, I mean,
Right.
wasn't rare when he was using his finisher, but they have been hyping it up. I haven't seen them hype a move up this big since the sharpshooter.
No, the spike. I think Samoa
Well,
spike when
yeah,
Umaga,
the spike, yeah.
when Umaga had it, yeah. Now maybe that's something that Jacob breaks out.
Maybe. Well, Solo's
Well, we
using
know
it, so
Solo's been doing it,
yeah.
but it's be interesting to see how that goes. So what about the other title match that's on the card? The US title. We made a little parody, about the Gingerbread Man being gone, but to pay respects to our dear departed brother, the Gingerbread Man. He was a good man. He was a moist man. He was a sweet man. We're gonna miss him deeply. But now to see Trick and Sammy do a part two, I know it's been advertised that Yachty's supposed to be there, but I have a theory. He's not advertised, but we've seen on certain things, like on Wikipedia saying he's supposed to be there. We don't know for sure, but unless he shows up tomorrow night, I have an idea what may happen. But you guys go ahead and talk about it.
I mean, if he doesn't show up on SmackDown, he can still show up at the event and interfere and help him win. If he doesn't show up, my money's still on Trick. It's too soon for him to drop that title. It doesn't make sense for him to win it at WrestleMania and then lose it like that, especially if you're building up a big star. So Trick is going to win.
Right.
It's just, I think this whole Gingerbread Man thing has been kind of just to hype up the match to give you a reason to want to watch a rematch because everyone knows Trick is going to win. It's the same old match you saw from WrestleMania. So what really do you have? What reason do you have to really want to watch it again? Well, you throw in the Gingerbread Man stuff, you know, to add a little flavor to it, and then you throw the match in. But Trick is going to win, and this is just going to further drive Sammy into being a heel.
As Trick Williams himself would say, let's talk about it. I'm going Trick as well. And for me, this is going to be, and I agree with all those points you just made, but I'm going to add Sami Zayn's good. We talked about planting of the seeds for a heel turn. And at some point, he's going to have an interaction with Cody afterwards.
Yeah.
So definitely, so after that, I say stay tuned for it. But this is more going to be about what's going to happen with Sami Zayn if and when he falls short.
Yeah.
And I think this Cody stuff also is playing to Cody turning heel also because he's been kind of rough with Sammy just unnecessarily. So I think both of them are going to butt heads and it's going to kind of drive both their storylines.
Yeah, I mean, with the Gingerbread Man thing, I think that's we're leaning into the comedy part of it, and if Yachty doesn't show up, I see a scenario where the Gingerbread Man has a resurrection,
Lord,
and it's Yachty.
Now, I'm with the gingerbread thing. I'm with the good joke and everything. They're having the funeral and okay, we'll have a good laugh. If the gingerbread man resurrects like freaking Undertaker, I'm just gonna throw my hands up.
Or what if it's a Gingerbread Man's child? What if they try to sell it? I mean, it might be something goofy.
El Hijo del Gingerbread Man.
What are we doing?
But this is TKO. It's a good way to get a celebrity further involved, which they said they want to do. So I can see them pulling that crap right there. But to you guys' point, I definitely see Trick retaining and driving Sammy to that mad level because remember, Sammy is kind of the king of this whole celebrity type thing because he did it with the Jackass crew before. And, when he was a big heel. So I think this is kind of pushing him to that level. But Cody's going to bring out that dark side, if you will, like a Darth Vader, or, Sith Lord type, whatever.
And going back to the whole Gingerbread Man resurrection thing, if it does happen, then it's probably going to be Yachty in the suit. That's
what I was saying.
Okay,
yeah.
that I can see happening. Yeah.
Yep. And so that Vince would do that. I don't know if Triple H would do that, but I can see TKO doing that, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's crazy. Now, for me, I think the match of the night, but there's two matches that would be the match of the night, even though it's not much with a 5-match card. But I think Io and Oscar is gonna put on a hell of a match.
They're gonna tear it up.
That's what I think.
I can't wait for that.
Because first of all, they
I
did a
hate
beautiful job
that
of building the
Kyrie isn't
story.
involved with it anymore.
Yeah, that's the sucky part.
Yeah.
Because they built a beautiful story so far about this. Even though it's dragged out a little long, it's still a good story. Student versus mentor type situation. One person's ready to break out on their own, quote unquote, but one feels disrespected by the other one. So, I think this is going to be a very good match. This definitely take you back to, New Japan, style of wrestling, if they really let them wrestle.
Yeah, and I hope they will. And if they do, it's definitely a match of the year candidate. But as far as the storyline, this is about as bad as it kind of almost makes me feel like when WMAC Masters went off the air and we never knew what happened on both sides of the coin. We're not going to go into that, but
yeah, for the 5 people out there who remember WMAC Masters,
you respect the Dragon Star.
There's American
Star.
Gladiators, Knights and Warriors, Battle Ball, and where the ball is WMAC Masters.
No, I will not tolerate any WMAC Masters slander.
I watched it along with it. I'm just saying no one else watched it.
Oh, there are people who watch it, okay? We're gonna have it.
Leave a comment if you've even heard of WMAC.
Please leave a comment.
Please leave a comment and shut this guy up, please.
Hey, I'll be happy if someone else if someone else says they watched it. I
right.
So, but on to Io and Oscar. That the storyline with them is what Cody and Orton should have been.
Yeah.
Before whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a great match. It would be even better if, and I don't think it's going to happen, but in a perfect world it would, if Kyrie pulls an R-Truth and she comes back and interferes and she helps one or the other. She can turn heel completely and go Oscar, or she can turn face and help Io out. But just seeing her come back and pulling an R-Truth and saying, "Hey, keep her around."
To do that, I wouldn't care about who wins the match.
You know what? I wouldn't either. I wouldn't care who won at that point. I would just be so excited to see her back. So I'm not going to hold my breath on it, but that would be great.
Especially considering the circumstances of her release.
Yeah.
Since it was very convoluted. That if she, no matter the capacity, if she was to come back like that, that would be completely awesome.
Yeah. As far as who's going to win, I'm going to say Io, but if they do bring Kyrie back, that would change things. But right now, I'm just going to say Io, because if Kyrie's gone for good, they're just going to wrap this whole thing up and be done with it. Because what else can you do with storyline? So they'll just put Io over, and go about their day. Oscar's been getting screwed on the main roster anyway, so, what's one more, unfortunately.
What you think, Curtis?
I think it'll be a great match. You know what Clint's hatred of WMC has got me all discombobulated. I almost forgot to make a pick.
It's not hating. I'm just saying no one has heard of it. It's not hate. I love the show. Hey, we watch wrestling. We watch guys fake beating each other. We watch it for years. WMC Masters is right up with it.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Io Sky just because. What are they doing with Oscar anyway?
Yeah,
I'm gonna be the oddball. I'm gonna go ahead and say Oscar wins. Because she's the one that needs to boost more than Io. Io's already over as far as being a crowd favorite, what have you. And I just think Oscar. I think Oscar's due. I just say it like that. Oscar has been kind of as far as singles, kind of been even when Kyrie was around, it's kind of been floundering a little bit, and she's always blaming Kyrie for the losses. So I think Oscar wins unless Kyrie comes back. If Kyrie comes back, she's definitely pulling R-Truth. I'll just go ahead and say it that way.
Okay. So let me ask you this: if Oscar wins, what do you see? Where do you see her going after that? Like U.S. Women's Title, or?
Well, think about it. Okay, if Oscar's on SmackDown or Raw, I thought she was on Raw.
Oscar's on Raw.
So
yeah, that's what I thought.
Title.
So think about it. We have a rivalry with Sol Ruka and Becky. What if that first challenge to Sol Ruka gets
is Oscar,
as Intercontinental champ?
Make sense.
Oscar.
That makes sense. I'm still
going
to say EO, but that makes a lot of sense.
I'm definitely before that. I'm not changing my pick, but I'm definitely for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I know we talked about EO and Oscar possibly having a match of the night, but the other match that could probably be a match of the night would be Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins. We know how much they hate each other right now. I mean, there's so many ways this story could go, but what are y'all thinking about it?
I will say that first off, Paul Heyman's quote on First Take was actually pretty interesting, and I'm definitely gonna have to use that in some point in life. But yes, this is kind of similar to when he being Braun Breaker facing CM Punk, and kind of like a point Clinton brought up. It's not the main event. It wasn't his time to be the champion, be that guy. But it was a test to see, is he ready for prime time? And he's ready. So he's definitely gonna. And Seth, the way Seth and Braun Breaker have gone at it over the last couple of weeks has actually been a lot of fun, even with or without Street Profits' involvement or the involvement of the Vision. And I'm surprised they didn't put that match into the card, but that's neither here nor there. It's definitely. I mean, this is going to be a really fun match, action packed. And yeah, this at very worst, it's going to be a banger. But I got Braun winning this match, but it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I'm just ready to let's go.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good match. I think this may be the second match tonight after EO and Oscar. There are a lot of reasons why Seth should win. There are a lot of reasons why Braun should win. The main reason I'm going to say it's going to be Braun is because Braun just got back, and I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want him to lose in his first match back, especially when he's been gone for a while and he's part of a big storyline with the whole Vision thing, and he's supposed to be building these guys up. I wouldn't put Seth over him, immediately like that. Even though Seth, and I'm thinking in my mind, okay, Seth just lost at WrestleMania, but Seth is over and he can stand a loss or two. It's not going to be that big of a deal to him. I think it will hurt Braun more to lose than it will hurt Seth.
Yeah, I was just thinking that who would have more to lose, or who would have more to lose by losing, and definitely it would be Braun in this case. And I wonder, just because what's been going on with the Street Profits, Curtis brought up, could this be a situation where the Vision interferes and the Street Profit does not?
Oh, yeah,
because they kind of, Monday they were kind of like, we really don't like you, Seth. We really just after the belt, so
well,
we ain't really about making it even.
Pushing on commentary also, not just with what they said, but on commentary they mentioned, Seth really doesn't have any friends, because remember, this guy was leading the Vision and they were kind of just wreaking havoc on Raw, and now all of a sudden they've booted him out, and now he wants people's help, and they're gonna go. It's like when Jey Uso came to Raw, people were like, "No, you're part of the bloodline. You raised hell with us." No, it's the same thing. They're not gonna want to help Seth out. So yeah, the Vision's probably going to interfere, and that's how Braun's going to win. And then we're going to get this story where Seth is just all alone. He doesn't have any alliances. He doesn't have any friends. No one wants to team up with him. And that's going to be an interesting storyline to see what they do with that. But yeah, the Street Profits are not going to come out and help him.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in the desperation he puts over, and it's kind of like that backstage promo he did with the Street Profits. Actually loved that he's like, "Yeah, you don't like me. Hell, if I was you, I wouldn't like me either." But
Hmm.
man, I'm looking forward. I mean, we talked about the nuances and the storytelling with Roman and Jacob. This is definitely going to be interesting as well.
Yeah, definitely. But to you guys' point, you know, we all agree Braun's going to win this
Yeah.
one way or another. He's going to win this match. And of course, the last match, which is a little bit of a comedy match of sorts, we have the Miz and I don't even want to say his name, Kit Wilson versus Danhausen and a mystery partner. Who you guys think the mystery partner going to be?
That's the thing. I have no idea. I
I have
really have no,
no
because it's Danhausen. This could go a million different ways. It could be some celebrity. It could be a legend. It could be another Danhausen. um, I really have no idea. I wish I could come up with a prediction, but
What if
Danhausen
it,
is so unpredictable.
what if it's a legend dressed as Danhausen? Because we've seen him do it with little people Danhausens.
Okay, so who?
I
Oh,
mean,
gosh.
who's making an announcement at Backlash?
Oh,
It better not be Cena.
oh no, no. And
Because I
I'm
don't know
assuming
about
I'm just
that
you,
saying,
but
man. I'm just
if
saying,
if if I'm one of the people in what I think it was DC who were at Saturday night's main event who paid all this money for these high price tickets to see Cena's last match, and Cena shows up and wrestles again, I am going to be
Oh,
mad.
okay, what if it's this though? What if it's this? Y'all hear me out. What if it's Bill that he doesn't find a partner? Maybe it's a random person ringside that helps Danhausen win without actually being in the match with maybe a familiar move.
So
That's all I'm saying.
technically he's not in the match.
Right. He's just there. And he
I
just happens to pull maybe a familiar, you know, something with an attitude, if you will,
An adjustment of attitude, so to speak.
an adjustment of attitudes, if you will, to help Danhausen win.
I mean,
So,
yeah. I
so
mean,
thing,
I would be cool with that because again, technically, he's not in the match. Yeah.
because we've seen Stone Cold do it. We've seen Stone Cold actually have a match technically after his last match. Now, granted, it was like some years apart, but
Well, also they didn't advertise that as his last match. It just turned out to be his last match.
okay, fair point, fair
But
point.
yeah, okay. I mean, I would be cool with that. Now, what if it was Austin?
oh Lord.
Now that would be
That would be hilarious.
Oh good night, everybody. Oh
I
my
really
god.
can't think of anywhere else it could be.
I can't either. In Tampa, okay, here's another far off theory. Tampa, who was a famous player from Tampa, who recently had some comments about wrestling. Tom Brady.
What did Tom Brady say about wrestling?
Oh, he said
He's
it's cute. He basically
cute.
Oh yeah, I
dismissed it.
remember that. Yeah, screw Tom Brady.
Oh,
Basically, well, I was like that before he retired.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
but
you
I
more than
mean,
anybody, Clint, with your Cowboys, but that's another story for another time. But
ah,
Hey, let's just all agree. Tom Brady sucks. Can we agree on that?
whoa, oh, hold on. Did what's the name ever lift the curse off I Show Speed?
not that I know of. I mean,
We
he
don't
did
need any more I show speed.
no.
But
But again, to TKO, more of a celebrity involvement.
Well,
no, please no.
let's all okay. I'm just gonna go Danhausen, and whoever the partner is, they're gonna take the win.
Yeah, I mean Danhausen is going to win, obviously, but as far as
Yeah,
who partner or how they come up with that, I don't know.
that's what like this. Whoever guesses the mystery partner, that's a bonus 5 points.
Okay,
Not that it matters.
now it would have to be something really, really silly.
How about Kit Wilson's partner from Pretty Deadly? I'll go with that.
Ooh,
Elton, what's his name?
I can't
I
think of his.
forgot his name. He's
You,
been gone for so long.
Yeah,
That's sad.
but yeah, we'll go with yeah. I'm gonna pick Elton, but I may be
Elton
away.
Prince, and I'm so
Elton
sorry,
Prince.
Elton Prince.
Elton
Yeah,
Prince, yeah.
I may be a whole ways off, but Elton Prince. Let's go with that.
Clint, who's your pick as the mystery partner?
Who's a legend who can still decently work? Who can go in and throw some punches, maybe? Who
And
we
who
haven't
can
seen in
also
a while?
provide comedy?
Yeah,
That's a good one.
That's a tough one. And plus,
I'm just going to throw a random name out there. Does Honky Tonk Man still work?
I think Wayne is far beyond the point.
Okay.
Wayne Fair is far beyond the point. But maybe his cousin.
No, his cousin needs to sit down because he's a cheeseburger away from another heart attack. No,
Well, this is true.
oh,
This is
you
true.
know he has to save all his energy for messing with those young girls.
Hey
oh,
man, you know,
oh.
them pills, them blue pills, can't do everything you used to do. That's all I'm saying.
Mm.
So, but who's your official pick, Clint?
You know what? Let me come back to that. I'm going to think, and I want to come back to that because it's going to be
I
someone crazy. It,
I'm still not outside the realm of it being. I don't want it to be. Let me put that
okay,
disclaimer out.
okay. I got one. I got one
Okay, go
because
ahead, go ahead.
this could realistically happen because of the relationship they have going on. Santino.
Dang it. Just as you started
Uh,
saying it, that's what I started thinking. I was like, what about Santino?
Because Santino will be perfect, and they have the relationship with TNA. So
there you go.
No, I got who I forget who I was gonna say at first. Iguana Man.
Mr. Iguana, that would be a good one.
Mr.
That
Iguana,
that would
Mr.
be a
Iguana,
good
yeah,
one.
Mr.
Okay,
Iguana. That's my official pick, Mr. Iguana.
that would be a good one
Because
because it's going to
it
be if not a legend, it's going to be someone either from NXT, which we already have enough NXT call ups, AAA or TNA. So
right. So I think Mr. Iguana. I'm rolling with that.
I just had another thought, but I'm still going to stick with Santino. But Tommy Dreamer.
Oh, good Lord. You talk
First of
about
all, Tommy got
Yeah,
like one vertebrae left in his back.
I mean he can throw. He can come out there with a kendo stick and smack a few people around.
And you had to put 2x4s in his shirt just so he could stand up straight.
and you talk about a guy who's a cheeseburger away from a heart attack. Come on.
Yeah, Tommy is a little plump these days.
A
Yeah.
little.
Just a little,
I'm trying to
yeah.
be nice. Hey, Tommy Dreamer's a nice guy, so I'm trying to be nice.
Yeah, he is.
Hey,
Great.
must respect the Tommy
Yeah.
Dreamer.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the greatest people in the
So, but
game.
yeah, I stick with Santino.
All right. So there's our picks, y'all. Y'all tell us who do you think is going to win at Backlash. Leave the comments below. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. And of course, grab you some merch at Handful of Tights because you know you can always win with a handful of tights. And to kind of wrap up for this showing, Curtis, you touched on it. You know, Ted Turner passed away. This was a man who helped broker the major wrestling companies we have today by him purchasing, you know, uh, Jim Crockett Promotions to make it become WCW, to grow it to be as big as it becomes, to start the Monday Night Wars and things of that nature. And that's just the wrestling side of it. We know as far as taking a small company like TBS and just making it huge to go along with CNN, things of that nature. So we know he has left his footprint in news and entertainment when it comes to wrestling. So much respect to Ted Turner. Clint, you got any words you want to say about Ted?
I think you pretty much said it all. The man, you know, helped bring about WCW, which was the first major competition that WWE or WWF at the time had. And in a way, it helped the wrestling business become what it is today. Because without WCW, we don't know how successful WWF would have been. Without that competition. So, and it also just gives more fans more viewing options as well. But I respect him just because he loved wrestling. He felt that wrestling should have been a part of TV, and so he decided that he's going to put it on his TV station. So, uh, and we continue that tradition today with AEW on TBS and TNT. That came from Ted Turner's vision. So, you know, he's always going to have a place in wrestling history, and it's well deserved.
So, with that said, much love and respect and prayers out to Ted Turner's family. And we here at Ringside right now want to give Ted the utmost respect you can give anyone in the wrestling field. Our our patented 10 bell salute. So to you, Ted Turner, this is for you.